One question I get all the time is, how did you decide to go gray? And this story personally is filled with starts and stops, bumps and bruises, deciding and undeciding, and all of that all over again. I kind of got backed into a hair dye corner like a mouse. I started dyeing my hair when I was 19. It started coming in when I was in college. I originally started plucking it out, but that didn't go so well when they started coming in more and more. So I just continued on that path until I found myself at 39 and I was still dyeing my hair only because I didn't have another example of how to do things. I didn't know that there was another way to wear my hair outside of coloring it. There were no role models for something like that. I always thought women in their 30s, when I was in my 30s, who had gray hair just looked unkempt, like they didn't care about what they looked like. That was the messaging I had set inside my head, looping again and again and again. And I literally remember myself saying out loud, that lady doesn't take care of herself. But then one day, I saw this woman in a bar. Me and my husband had gone in to grab dinner. She was sitting at the bar with her husband, ordering a pizza, sharing a bottle of wine. She was laughing. She was having so much fun. It's exactly what I would have ordered too. And she had a full head of gorgeous gray curly hair. And in that moment, everything changed. The next thing I know, I found myself walking over to this woman and I started peppering her with a million questions like, how did you do it? Did your family like it? What do your kids think? How long did it take you? And that conversation planted the seed for me to consider to do the same. But I say it planted the seed because I didn't just jump in and start to go gray at that point. I started kind of peppering people with questions who were in my circle. So I asked my husband, what do you think if I went gray? And he said, do it. I asked people online, what do you think if I went gray? And the majority of those people said yes, but there was one woman, and I still remember her to this day. She said, don't do it. And I let that one comment cancel out all the positive comments I had had up until that moment. That one negative comment was so powerful for me in my head that it just negated everything else that I had heard. And I was wavering. And even in the moment where I decided, okay, now I'm gonna go gray, the very next thing I did was I called my salon and made a hair appointment to get my hair dyed again. I totally chickened out. No part of this process felt good to me. The decision to go gray didn't feel good to me. The process of going gray wasn't feeling good. I questioned myself the entire time, but all of those negative thoughts, that wasn't my fault. That just comes from years of cultural conditioning that gray hair isn't valuable on a woman. That gray hair equals old, gray hair equals ugly. And when we say yes to going gray, we're also saying yes to the slow unraveling of those years and years and years of cultural conditioning that we were born into. And we're also saying yes to supporting ourselves during that process. We're choosing our happiness and our power, and we're not letting the world's wisdom define that for us. And that's what our new course, Going Gray on Your Terms, provides you. A way to go gray and feel good about it. Now, it's still not easy. I mean, I'm a perfect example of that. But when you have the support of an online community, you have expert tips, you have practical tricks, you have mindset coaches, and so much more to create a supportive and balanced experience, it is so much easier. If you resonate with any of this, consider it your fate that it's your time to go gray. This is the course and the support that I wish I had back when I was going gray. And that is why I feel so compelled and excited to bring it to you.